Hello everybody and welcome to Blue Goose Garage. I figured I'd give you a van update because it's been a little while. It's doing pretty good. I don't remember if I showed you this or not. I probably didn't. I had an alternator issue a week or two ago. It was acting funny. Sometimes it would charge way too hard. And I mean, like, according to that gauge in the dash, it was putting out 18 plus volts sometimes. And then sometimes it wasn't charging at all. So I took the alternator off and stuck another one I had on it so I could drive it some. And had a spare rebuilt, and I put it on it, and my charging problem was fixed. But occasionally at night, and only at night with the headlights on, the gauge would act funny. It would start going down towards 8 and the lights would dim. And basically, a friend of mine that knows all kinds of stuff about electrical had to point out something to me that I should have probably caught by myself, which was the van did not have a ground wire running from the battery cable to the body. It had one going to the engine, and it had harness grounds, electrical harness grounds running to the engine, but the body itself didn't have a ground anywhere. So I ran a ground, and now my charging problem's fixed, which it wasn't really a charging problem anyway. It was a weird power drop-off problem. Like right now, when I turn on the headlights on this, the volt gauge barely moves down any. Before, when you turned on the headlights, it would drop a quarter of a gauge, or eighth of a gauge. It had a lot of drop. And when it would do that, my radio would mess up, everything was causing problems, but you never noticed it during the day, and I never noticed it until it got cold like this. I guess because the battery, before it got cold like this, was hot enough that it was able to, kind of mask it just coming to and going to town. So I fixed that. Everything seems to be working okay. I think I have a little bit of a video showing something on an alternator. So I'll put that in here. I was asked in town by a subscriber, I guess he's a subscriber of mine, or he at least watched that video. And he asked about 2 alternators because he wanted 2 alternators on his camper van so he could have a rear battery that wasn't dependent on the one the van's running off of, the single alternator. So I might put a little bit of that in this. I've had this on the road for about 2 months and really haven't had very many problems. I've had to tweak and change on a few things because the parts that I used and thought were good ended up not being good, but really haven't had to do all that much to it. When I first put the engine down in the van, I don't even think I mentioned having 2 alternators. I might have showed them. The reason I did that, I deleted all the air conditioner stuff off this van because it wasn't good anyway. I got rid of the rear heat. I wanted 2 alternators so I could have a good deep cycle battery in the back of the van and a power inverter. I wanted to be able to run lights and heat and air conditioning off of a pretty good sized power inverter. These alternators are pretty good. I didn't want to have to worry about this one going out and not being able to get home, or both batteries going dead because one alternator died. This bracket is a 92 G20 van, 350 van alternator bracket. That's the way that vans are. They have the alternator over here. This bracket is a 92 Chevrolet half-ton truck alternator and power steering bracket. I have the van power steering pump, which is why it's got the reservoir up here and the hose. The pulleys are mismatched pulleys that I had. You know, it may not show you all that much. The belts are going to have to be something you come up with. The belt is going to have to be something that you come up with what length you need. But the alternator, that's pretty simple to put two of them on this. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, keep on vanning.